Hi, I'm Scott Burton with Swell Signs in Odessa, Missouri. This is Samantha and Julia, who operate the sign shop day to day. And we started in Odessa in 2011, and the focus of our business is mostly vehicle graphics, but we do lots of business graphics as well for business windows and yard signs and things like that. And we do ship worldwide. We do a considerable amount of business in the US, shipping pretty much daily. So I had been looking for a flatbed printer for at least 5 years. The majority of the reasons why I hadn't bought a flatbed printer in the last 5 years is price point. They're super expensive and a little bit intimidating to purchase. When I found Xanté and specifically Abigail, she made the whole process of purchasing very seamless, very easy. She's such an upbeat person. The pricing was where I needed it to be. She was able to structure some components on the machine to reduce some costs that I didn't really need. For instance, like the 4-head versus the 2-head. We're not really looking for speed in our sign shop, so being able to reduce the heads to 2 and save that amount of money was a really nice feature. The day of the install went pretty seamlessly. Joe was our installer. He did a great job for us. He came right in, got it unpackaged. I helped him put it together and got it up and running within 5-6 hours. We were printing on it and starting to learn the software. So it's a pretty seamless process on day of install. The X-55 has definitely met our expectations as far as being able to print direct to substrates and reduce the amount of labor that we've had with signs that we've previously printed, but now we print direct to those signs, and reducing our cost of labor, reducing our cost of materials. The ability to direct print yard signs is getting us into areas that we haven't previously been able to be in, with having to print a vinyl and then apply that vinyl to a substrate. The flatbed printer has gotten rid of those extra steps for us. We have had multiple customers come to us with purchases of over 100 yard signs at a time. And now that we're competitive in those areas, because we're able to flatbed print right to the substrate and reduce our cost, the customers have actually absolutely loved our price points on our yard signs. And now, instead of going to an online retailer, they're able to purchase those locally and actually come in and pick them up from us directly. So one of the best features on this particular machine that I kept coming back to when I was making my purchase decision was ink, and how I don't have to purchase cartridges like we do with our other machines and constantly changing out cartridges. I really like the idea of having a bottle of ink and just putting a specific color in when you need it. The price point on the inks is definitely a nice feature, and the ability to change the inks pretty much on demand whenever you need to has been a super great feature. So again, the UV Limited was a very interesting concept to us because it got us into promotional goods and items that we haven't currently been doing in the past. We haven't historically been in the promotional business. We're now getting into it because printing this in vinyl and then applying it just doesn't work very well, and especially with small lines and things and intricate details, you just couldn't do it before with vinyl printers and laminates and things like that, and has really gotten us into an area of our business that we haven't currently been in. Other materials that we've been able to do, this is just a metal 040 sign. We do a lot of these for businesses and stuff. This is a personal item. This actually was my son's cat, or is my son's cat. So we've done that with it. This is more of a plastic substrate, and another cat for my other daughter. And then another nice feature that I really like was the stained glass feature. And I don't know if you can see it very well with the lighting, but that is a really neat feature of this printer, to be able to print on stained glass.
So we were a little intimidated by IQ at first because a machine we got in the past had a specific program that came with it that was really different than what we were used to, and it took us a while to learn that. But IQ actually didn't take us as long to learn, and we were kind of surprised with how easy it was to navigate. It's very user-friendly, and I know that there are a lot of settings and a lot of features that we have just kind of barely scratched the surface on. There's a lot more that we can do with it than we're currently doing, but for what we need, for what we actually do in our shop day to day, it's been really easy to use. So we really like that we can have IQ on both of our work computers, which is nice. A lot of our other machines we can only operate from one computer, so we're constantly having to go back and forth, but we can actually operate this printer from both computers, which is really nice. And it saves everything that we've been working on in their queue. So we can clear the queue here if it feels like it's a little too overwhelming, but then it saves it all in the computer. So if we need to go back and look at what head height we printed it at, or what margin we had it set at, we can go back and find those settings really easily. So collectively, I think we really like the job cost feature on IQ. That's something that has really made the process of quoting customers and estimating jobs a lot more simplified. So we really like that. We also really like that we can print something in an outline mode, or we can print a template of something just directly onto the print bed, and then we can load up our substrate. Sometimes it's like a custom shaped sign. You can just load it right up in the lines. It's gonna print exactly where it needs to print, so we don't have to guess like we do with some of our other machines. So with this printer, we've actually been experimenting with printing with white ink, which is different than what we have been using in the past. So we can take something that is black and print white over it, and then print on top of that. Or we can print on wood. We have a few wood canvases back here. We can print directly onto it, or we can print white first and then print the image, and it gives it just a much brighter, more vibrant look. So we've only used a few of the templates that are already loaded into IQ. And at first we were a little confused. We didn't know where it was being downloaded to, but once we figured out where the templates were being downloaded to and how to use those, we started using this little golf ball jig, which is kind of neat. You can just lay it on the print bed, we can put golf balls in there, and then you can print a logo or a phrase just directly onto the golf ball. And you can do that with actually all kinds of stuff that we haven't tried yet, but we're excited to. So one thing we were kind of blown away by when our tech was showing us a feature is in the write-on menu, how you can generate a swatch page just with the click of a button, which is really nice because in our other software we'd had to create little boxes and make color codes for each one and print them and then compare those to whatever we're trying to match it to. But with write-on, it just prints that swatch page, and we can either refine it, we can make it a broader range of colors or a more specific range of colors, and we've used that a few times when we're trying to match a yard sign that someone brings in and asks if we can recreate this yard sign, and they want it to look as close as possible. So we've used that quite a bit, and we have figured out how we can plug in the write-in codes for future jobs too. So if we know that this red or this blue is really nice, pretty, exactly what we need, then we can go back to it in the future. So we're a big fan of the tutorials that are on the IQ software. It's really nice that we can just use it directly from that browser. We don't have to go to a different website. We don't have to search a link. We don't have to look through a library of videos. We can just find it right there what we need. And it's really nice because they just get right to the point, and we don't have to fast forward through a 10-minute introduction to get to what we need. We can just get right to it. So it's been really helpful, and we will probably be using it quite a bit in the future. I would definitely recommend IQ to other print shops, especially if you don't have a graphic designer on staff. They have the templates that are already created, so if you're doing postcards or flyers or invitations, things like that. So most of our business is for corporate customers, lots of vehicle graphics that we're shipping out day to day, but every once in a while we do have someone come in who wants a banner or a yard sign for something like a birthday party or a baby shower, or an event that they're having, a charity event. So it's nice to have just an already generated template, so we don't have to spend a lot of time coming up with some custom design. A lot of times they don't even know what they want, they just know the person's name and their favorite color, and then we have to kind of figure out something that looks nice. So it's really good to have just a library of templates that we can fall back on to help save time and make our customers happy.
So as far as return on investment, we're not quite there yet. We've only been using it for 4 months, but we have printed an awful lot of stuff with it so far, and I can definitely see that it's going to do that. It's definitely getting us into areas of our business that we haven't currently been in, so our revenue will definitely go up from that as well. Definitely, if we had a bigger shop, I would go with a bigger one. We were limited in our space, so we had to get this particular model, but I would definitely love to be able to do larger signs. So if we did happen to get a larger shop in the future, I could definitely see us purchasing the next size up.
We're Swell Signs and we're a happy Xanté customer.